Hi, this is Eternal King here, bringing you another LOR video. Following up on yesterday's discussion where I talked about a very high commitment deck that was absolutely plowing through standard Nora, or decks that do not commit to a strategy or win con. I wanted to explore some decks that do the same thing in Eternal. So the first one that's up is going to be 60% Draven Rumble. So again, traditional knowledge says that committing to a play, or at least pro player knowledge, says that committing to a play, committing to a strategy, committing to a win con or a synergy is bad. That is how traditional knowledge and pro players describe LOR as a game. If that is the case, then why is this deck currently at 60% on Eternal Ladder? It's basically all in on discard synergy, right? Draven Tutor, Grenadier, of course, Blade Squire, because again, it's a value one drop with Last Breath. Zonite Urchin, kind of the core discard package, of course. Boom Baboon, because it gets you the Flame Chomps. This has replaced Flame Chomps in every discard deck, pretty much. Unless you're specifically doing the Lulu Flame Chomps thing, that combo, you always run Boom Baboon instead of Flame Chomps. Fallen Rider, of course, again, discard synergy, aggressive card. Good line there. Mystic Shot is a 3 of. Draven as a 3 of because he generates the axes. Draven, being a very good card as a 3-3 again. He was so powerful that he had to go to 3-2. So I think Draven's a bit of a sleeper card right now because, again, on that 3, now that he's back on Caitlyn's stats again, that's very, very good. I don't even remember when this happened. He dropped to a 3-2. He was a meme card. He could get Mystic Shotted. It wasn't great. Now that he's back to 3-3, Draven is a legit terror. So, again, very high commitment in terms of the way that his playstyle is, where you have to pre-commit the axes to level him. But if you're willing to do that at the 3-3 stat line, there's not as many things that can blow you out. So, Draven, very good card. And again, he's interesting because you commit card value through the discards, but then you get the card value back again on the level up. So again, Draven and Jinx are very interesting cards. Get Excited as a 3 of, great burn, great removal. Might as a 3 of, great combat trick. Augmented Clockling as a 3 of because honestly, it's just one of the more consistent ways to tutor for burn. Blowback, again, very good removal card. Rumble is a 3 of. One survival skills, which again is a combo card where you axe the survival skills and then Draven gets invulnerable, but it's not consistent enough to run more than one copy. So one copy is where the value is, where it's like, haha, I bet you didn't expect me to have this. And then your opponent commits to removing the Draven, and you get the axe, but beyond that, it's not worth running more than one copy. And again, if you want to, drop survival skills for 3 blowbacks or whatever, I'm sure it's not going to break the deck. Rumble, of course, is a 3 of. Rumble is the highest commitment champion in the entire game of LOR. Nobody can argue otherwise. In order to have Rumble, be an effective card, he has to discard 3 cards from your hand, and you're just pre-committing that all at once. So exceptionally high commitment card. And then, of course, Fire Spitter is an MVP unit. I think you run Fire Spitter in so many decks. Like, I run him in ramp because, again, he's good for removal and for turboing Volibear and challenging things. But again, that could be wrong. But he's so ubiquitous that you can basically just put him anywhere. He's probably better as a Mystic Shot in this deck specifically, and then having the Might as well is very good. So yeah, that's an example of a very high commitment deck, the highest commitment deck in Eternal with Rumble. And then there's one more I want to show you as well, which is Taric Poppy. So Taric Poppy is going to absolutely commit to a single strategy every single time that you play it. And if you don't commit to that strategy, you're going to be in a very, very rough position, just generally speaking. So Taric Poppy, and again, here's the deck here. Taric Poppy is all in on Rally Tribal. Like, I would call this a Rally Tribal deck, a Rally combo deck, however you want to put that. The entire point is to play Golden Aegis on Taric, and then through his effect, you get to rally twice. And it's the only deck in the game that can do that. And it's very cool, but it's a very unique mechanic. It's almost like a Lee Sin style of deck where it's like, okay, you're going for an OTK a lot of the time through the double rally or something close to an OTK. So yeah, very cool deck, very high commitment. Some of the new tech included in the deck, I really like Scholarly Pioneer, and I really like War Chefs on the Scholarly Pioneer. Scholarly Pioneer is obviously one of the best new Freljord cards in the game, also in Demacia colors, and just being able to challenge things and also tutor for an answer, whether it's destroying an equipment, destroying a landmark, or removing elusive from a unit or overwhelm, depending. That's very, very powerful. So you get that. Obviously, lots of challengers, lots of control elements. I pretty much love everything about this deck in terms of its construction, in the same way that I love everything about the Rumble deck in terms of its construction. It is a high commitment Eternal deck that does its thing, levels its champions sometimes, especially the Terrible level here. Um, high commits, levels its champs, has a clean strategy, knows what it's doing, and it's, potentially winning something like 56 to 60% of games, potentially, in the Eternal format. So, every single pro player that tells you committing an LOR is bad, they are talking specifically about Standard, and they are talking they're talking about Standard, basically. Which, keep in mind, the Standard is the new format in LOR compared to Eternal. Old school LOR was exceptionally high commitment. You would commit to an MF level up through scouts. You would commit to a Gangplank level up. You would commit to a Sejuani level up. Old school LOR was exceptionally high commitment. Swim would commit to his tribal decks and his elusive decks. So that's old school LOR is high commitment. Standard is the new format that pro players chose, where they could basically control variables in their matchups to such a degree that they could guarantee wins in a meta landscape. Eternal's not like that. Pick a deck, commit to the strategy, pilot it properly, and you're going to win far more games in this format. So that's Eternal King signing out right now. There's two examples of exceptionally high commitment decks that are not Nora and are doing as well or better than Nora in the Eternal format. This is Eternal King signing out.